Adult wasps are insects which feed on nectar, and even some of them feed on the secretions produced by larvae. Wasps are split into two groups. Solitary wasps. These wasps live alone, away from the rest of the other wasps. The other group is known as the social wasps, which live in colonies. Wasps can be found anywhere around the world. Wasps usually occur more in hot temperature, whilst the wasps are hidden away in their homes during the cold temperature.
The ants work together. They know what their job is in terms of their size and their strength. Ants don't hear, they don't have ears to, but they feel vibration in the ground with their feet. Ants choose their leader by whoever is strongest. They fight and see humans. Ants live together. They usually live on the ground and in the trees where it is all organized. Ants in the colony are usually females where they do all the work, while males are usually only there to mate with the queen and soon die after. Ecosystems for any organisms are technically everywhere we can be. Whether it be a forest, in the lake, organisms live where we do. Since we don't notice from our size compared to theirs, we don't know that we are destroying the ecosystem. In our case, ants, wasps, and bees can be helped by simple solutions and prevent us from destroying it without noticing. Building fences where humans can't reach can help in a number of ways. It will prevent litter and prevent humans especially from destroying the organism's ecosystem.
Honeybees are best habitable in temperate climates like Europe. They can store a greater amount of honey in their hive. The number of bees in a hive varies according to availability of nectar and pollen, from less than 5,000 to more than 100,000. When a nectar source is abundant, 90% of the honey will be formed from that source. The queen bee will lay up to 2,000 eggs a day. Bees attempting to enter a different hive will be killed as intruders, although bees returning with nectar may be admitted.
Abiotic and biotic components of the Parramatta Park ecosystem and the impact of changes in communities due to abiotic and biotic changes. The living things in an ecosystem are called biotic factors. Living things include plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, and more. The non-living parts of an ecosystem are called abiotic factors. Non-living things include sunlight, temperature, atmospheric gases, water, and soil. These two components were relevant when exploring Parramatta Park while studying the environment and its inhabitants. An example of these components that we managed to come across were the following. Biotic factors: bees, ants, wasps, flies, mosquitoes, spiders, worms, dragonflies, and all sorts of other living components. These insects all had an individual area where they were most found, which is due to their survival, eating, and living the environment. Abiotic factors, in other words, the environment, were the sun, light, temperature, wind, air, gases, and etc. These abiotic factors are what makes up an ecosystem or environment for these living things to survive, live, and nurture in. An example of a change in communities due to abiotic and biotic changes is our meat produce from cows. Recently, there was an event in the most southern areas where there was a drought causing there to be little or no grass that the cattle could feed on, which then had affected the cows that we eat from, then affecting the quality and quantity of the meat from the cows. This effect was like a food chain, although it had a negative impact of it on the community.